Let's bring in Kellyanne Conway, former senior counsel to President Trump, now president of KA Consulting and a Fox News contributor, and Patrick Murphy, former Pennsylvania congressman and an Iraq War veteran who served as Army undersecretary as well. Great to have you both here. Thank you very much for joining me today. Let's just play one more soundbite here. This has to do with what the question about, when she said, "Oh, nothing comes to mind. There's nothing I would do differently than Joe Biden," and she's now being asked to answer what happened there. She claims she had no idea. "Oh, I was like, I stepped on a hand grenade. I didn't know what was wrong with my answer. There was nothing wrong with my answer." So here she goes on the second round. Watch.
I should have answered that question better. I felt that to answer the question would be to require that I criticize the president, Joe Biden. And I wasn't running against Joe Biden.
You had David Plouffe literally saying to you, people hate Joe Biden, and you've got to get that through your head.
Patrick.
Well, listen, in the Army, we had a saying, loyalty above all else except honor, right? I get it, you want to be loyal to the president at the time, but you got to be ready for those questions. I know when I ran for Congress, I was just back from Iraq, I was 33, and I won by 0.6%. But I said to my team, like, listen, when they asked me the question, where do you break from the party? I talked about the national deficit. I talked about things where I broke because you have to be ready. It's all about independence. These elections aren't about, listen, if you're a Republican, you're coming out for your person. If you're a Democrat, same here. The fight is really about independence. And if you can't sit on your own 2 feet, stand there and say where you differ, you don't have what it takes.
Yeah, and it made her come across, Kellyanne, as sort of like mashed potatoes, like mushy. Like there wasn't a clear line. Who are you and what do you stand for?
That was the real problem in not answering the question, Martha. We didn't know enough about her as vice president. We didn't hear much from her. We didn't see her work very hard. She's my neighbor in Washington, D.C. I never had my mobility compromised a single time because she was going to or coming from work. That motorcade is buzzing all the time with this vice president and with the one before her. But she's still not answering the question. She's still not answering the question. She's still not answering the question.
Out of the building.
Not really. She didn't answer the question, though. Now she's criticizing Joe Biden. Now's not the time to criticize him when he's off the stage. Look, I think this book was a mistake for her. I know she got millions of dollars from the people across the street here, but I think it was a mistake for her because she's reminding everybody why she lost. And she's reminding everybody there's really no theory of the case for her. Let me set the record straight. She lost worse against Donald Trump in 2024 than Hillary Clinton did in 2016 by electoral vote count. She lost 7 million fewer voters nationwide than Joe Biden did. 89% of the counties in this country went more red. Instead of her going on these shows and saying, you know what, I want to do my darndest before the midterms to find out how we win back the new Trump coalition, African Americans, Hispanics, young people, working class households, union voters, Catholics. He did so much better with so many groups like that. There's no self-awareness, but I don't think she's ever had anyone around her to say, that's a bad idea. That's not true. Maybe we think about it a little differently. Every time she lied about the closeness of the election, the women of the View were like, yeah. Joy Reid's like, uh-huh. Yeah. Nobody corrects her.
Right. No one says, no, that's not actually the case.
This is a little rare. As a Democrat, like, I agree with you, Kellyanne, right? The math isn't mathing, right? The reality of it is Hillary Clinton won by 2.1% in the popular vote. Won by about, I think it was like...
She lost.
Well, in a popular vote, not electoral vote, but she lost. And I admit she lost. I'm not arguing that. But what I get frustrated, I agree with you also, the point is this book isn't helpful right now. You know why? Because it's talking about the past. Let's talk about we're a week away from a government shutdown.
Does she want to run again?
I hope so. Please, can you get that done?
No.
Can you urge her to run again? Kamala, 2028.
But I think what most Fox viewers and most America cares about is like, all right, what's going on now with our economy? Like, what's going on with inflation? What's going on? There's a government shutdown. This will be the 4th government shutdown under President Trump's watch, 3 in the first administration. And that means like 1.3 million of my brothers and sister veterans won't get paid. That's wrong, right? We got to make sure these leaders come together. I know President Trump just canceled the meeting with the Democratic leaders. We got to get Democrats, Republicans moving forward for the American people. We can't stop. We got to stop this partisanship. And one last thing. Can I just say about Charlie Kirk, because it was, I was on here, Martha, as you know, his wife, Erica, did such a phenomenal job talking about forgiveness as a Catholic, and we need to see more leaders in America talk about that, about finding humanity in each other and coming together. I get it. We put the red jersey on, blue jersey on, we'll fight it out, right? But let's not, when we see ICE agents getting shot, my dad was a cop in Philly. Like, These folks, it's just like in Vietnam. We learned in that war, separate the war from the warrior. They're just doing their job. We got to make sure we support our law enforcement, support those folks who are doing the right thing to put our country first.
Respectfully, that all sounds great. You're describing a Democratic Party that doesn't exist right now.
I agree.
Because
I'm proud
Nazis
Democrat.
and fascists we go to work every day. It's an occupational hazard. People are violent. And beyond that, not a single Democrat voted for the one big beautiful bill, which kept the tax cuts for the small businesses, the moms and pops, the mothers and fathers in your district. No, he's doing a great job. He doesn't need to meet with the
We're
Democrats.
going to have you guys back for part 2.
All right.
Thank you very much, Kellyanne. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Patrick.
You too.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.